Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to another episode of the Haftarah Drop. I'm Rabbi Michael Shields, Associate Rabbi here at Temple Sinai. This week is Shabbat Zachor, the Sabbath of remembering. The Torah commands us, Zachor et asher lecha Amalek. Asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. And our Haftarah from 1 Samuel chapter 15 shows us what remembrance looks like in real time. In the Haftarah, God commands King Saul to destroy Amalek totally, utterly. No spoils, no mercy, no partial obedience. And Saul wins the battle, but he keeps the best livestock, and he spares Agag, the king of Amalek. It seems reasonable, political, pragmatic, even compassionate, and then comes one of the most chilling lines in all of Tanakh. The prophet Samuel declares, Has the Lord as great delight, does the Lord have great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as much as he has in obeying the voice of the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, he says. So let's take a pause there, because this is not a story about ancient warfare alone. It's about leadership. It's about moral clarity. It's about the danger of selective listening. Saul heard God, but filtered God. He obeyed mostly. And Shabbat Zachor comes to disrupt that instinct in all of us. So who is Amalek? In the Torah, Amalek attacks the Israelites from behind, targeting the weak, the stragglers. Amalek represents in Torah cruelty without cause, violence without conscience. But in rabbinic tradition, Amalek also becomes something more. The rabbis say Amalek is not just a nation. Amalek is a mindset. Amalek is moral amnesia. Amalek is indifference. Amalek is the voice that says it doesn't matter. And so we are commanded to remember, not to cultivate hatred, but to cultivate vigilance, not to live in vengeance, but to live in moral clarity. Saul's mistake is subtle. He doesn't rebel openly against God. He reframes the command. He tells Samuel, I saved the best animals to sacrifice to the Lord your God. In a way, he spiritualizes disobedience, but Samuel sees through it, because partial obedience is not obedience. It's ego dressed in some sort of piety. And that's the message of this Haftarah. Leadership requires alignment, because what we hear and what we do need to line up. It requires alignment between memory and action, between covenant and courage. We read this Haftarah right before Purim every year. Why? Because the villain of Purim, Haman, is called an Agagite, a descendant of King Agag, the one that Saul spared. Our tradition is teaching something powerful. When evil is not confronted with clarity, it metastasizes like cancer. History's not random. It's shaped by what we remember and what we avoid. Shabbat Zachor asks us, where are we sparing what should not be spared? Where are we compromising moral clarity for convenience? Where do we say close enough? And really, close enough and enough are quite far apart. But here's where I want to shift slightly. Because remembering Amalek does not mean becoming harsh. It means becoming serious. It means understanding that Jewish memory is sacred work. We're not a people that's forgetful, a people of forgetfulness. We're a people that carry the covenant with us. We have covenantal memory. We remember Egypt. We remember Sinai. We remember October 7th. We remember Amalek. And remembrance shapes identity. In an age when anti-Semitism mutates and rebrands, when moral language gets blurry, when hatred hides behind slogans, Shabbat Zachor calls us to dignified strength. Not panic, not paranoia, but principled clarity. There's a line in Samuel that really echoes in my head. To obey is better than sacrifice. Listen deeply. Do not filter covenant through comfort. Do not dilute the Torah through maybe what's popular. Remember and then act. Shabbat Zachor is not about ancient enemies alone. It's about the discipline of memory. It's about leadership that listens without distortion. It's about a Jewish people who refuse to forget who we are. And so may we always remember wisely. May we act courageously. May our memory sharpen our moral vision and not harden our hearts. Shabbat Shalom.